Okay, hi everyone. I prepare for you a short video on how demonstrating a few activities here which involve in the assignment 2. The activities are how to key in the data, especially to transform data in horizontal format into vertical format, and also the activity of transforming data, from nominal to real and finally into log values. So I stick to the original title, which is the impact of money supply and inflation on GDP. So assume, let's say, this is the sample data that I'm having, and this data is not the same like the data that I provide, okay, in class. So this is the main data. So if I stick to my original topic, what I must have or must search are the GDP, the inflation which is obtained from CPI, and also the money supply data. So I'm going to make arrangement in my new spreadsheet. So I have to put year here because I'm going to use yearly data or annual data, and then my GDP because the arrangement in equation form, arrangement in model specification GDP is the Y, and then money supply, and money supply that I'm going to use is money supply 3, and finally I have to find CPI so that from CPI I can generate inflation. Okay, so for here, I highlight first the variable, see which year should I start. So if I go to my main data, so I need to find, okay, there are three types of money supply, and normally it is recommended to use M3 because M3 is comprised of M2 and M1. So I have my X1, and it is there's no data available in the first two column, meaning that I cannot start in 1970 or 71. It is recommended to start in 1972, but before that, let's check for other variables. Yeah, so I have this, and this is index numbers. I'm looking for consumer price index. For consumer price index, okay, is available, okay, even in the first column. uh looks good, okay, and then I need to find GDP. So for GDP, I would like to use the nominal GDP, okay, so that I can later on transform into real GDP using the same CPI values. So this one also is available even though in the first column, but I have to follow M3 because it's not available in the first and second column. I should start it here. Okay, somewhere here. So the year that I'm looking for is 1972 and onwards. Even this data is just up to 205, so this is just for demonstration purposes. Yeah, so I copy, I highlight, and I copy. I go to the demo spreadsheet, go to the first cell here, right click, and then paste special, transpose. What I did is I rearrange the direction of the data. If we look at first, it is in horizontal format. Okay, just now what I did is I rearrange into vertical format. So next, I'm going to find my GDP data. So my GDP data is here. I should start here because I'm going to start in 1972. So copy, see, highlight, copy, and put in demo spreadsheet. Left click, paste special, make sure we choose transpose. So this is for GDP. The value that we get here is actually GDP nominal. Okay, even the money supply that we are going to key in after this is nominal. CPI, it doesn't have any nominal or real value because it's a form of index. This one in monetary values. So for money supply, go back to the main data, go to money tree, okay, pick the third data from the third column, copy, highlight and copy, and then right click, paste special, transpose, it will be in vertical format. CPI. CPI is here. Start from the second column. Copy, highlight, copy here, and then right click, paste special, transpose. Okay, maybe we want to centralize it a little bit so it's easier to see. Now that we have these numbers, okay, what we should do next is transform. But before that, let's check. Okay, it's all available starting 1972, but here we see there are a few data which are not available. Okay, the complete one is in row 34. Row 35 we have defects here because data not available. So mean that 35 and onwards we should delete. Okay, we have to make sure, yeah, when you decide on data, make sure the first, starting from the first data until the last data, all data are occupied. Okay, all the spaces are filled in. There's no blank spaces. Now that we have this, the next mission is to transform the data, to do some data transformation or generation. If we can recall back the topic, is the impact of money supply and inflation on GDP. Inflation. Okay, we have to transform CPI into inflation. If we can recall back inflation rates, okay, is inflation rates, which is in percent. We have studied the formula to find inflation rate. Okay, press shift plus and then open bracket because we want to key in the formula. Okay, this is because it's comparing between two numbers, we should start from the second row. Okay, press shift plus open bracket, take the new CPI, okay, and minus the previous CPI, close, and then over, okay, divide with previous CPI, the old CPI, close bracket, and then you times with 100 because it's in percent. Then you check there are two close bracket, there should also be two open bracket, and it will automatically calculate for you. Now that we have a key in the formula, just copy that cell. It will read the formula, the same formula throughout, okay, throughout the rows, yeah, for the rest of the years. Now we are having this in case we are not very pleased with the numbers that too many decimal point. Okay, we can highlight and then we can format cell. Okay, choose number, and by default it is two decimal point, and it will provide you two decimal point. What we are having here, we do data generation for the variable that we are looking for, and also we only key in. Okay, the next stage is to transform into GDP real, money supply, MS real. Okay, we can for inflation rate, there's you should not do anything because for percent data like inflation rate, unemployment rate, okay, there's no need for you to transform from nominal to real or log it at the end. Yeah, it remains the same. So for this one, why not we copy? When you copy, okay, when you copy the data, drag it down. Okay, you don't do it directly. You copy and then you paste. Let's say if you insist to copy directly, it will give you this type of input. Because please do not forget, under these numbers there are formulas embedded, or formulas you already key in earlier. So what you should do now is copy, go to the first cell, and then paste special. Okay, we are telling Excel to just copy the values only, not the formula. Okay, so it's giving you again, is giving you in 4 decimal point, which in this one we already simplified into 2 decimal point, but it's the same value. The next is we want to convert from nominal to real. What you should do is, okay, key in the formula, shift plus open bracket, take GDP, okay, that GDP nominal divide with deflator. Deflator is CPI, okay, over 100, okay, close bracket. Now we have two open, we should also have two close bracket, and it will give you the values. Copy this, drag it down, and enter. It will reach the same formula and will do the calculation automatically for you. Let's say I want to copy this, and I paste. Okay, what's the problem here? If we look at C2, it's reading money supply. Yes, it's correct. Divide with E2. No, it should divide with D2 because CPI is D2. Okay, and that will give us a correct formula and also correct calculation for money supply real. As usual, copy and drag, and it will provide you the answers. And again, if you are not happy with too many decimal point, you can format the cell. Okay, number automatically by default is giving you 2 decimal point. Next, we do log. Okay, let's say I want to take year here, copy, paste, and I want to do log. Okay, log GDP. I want to do log money supply. I don't have to do anything for inflation because it's in percent. Okay, percent data, we don't have to do anything. So what should we do? Shift, open, and then open bracket, and then we key in log. It will list you, okay, your options. Please click log 10 twice. Open bracket, read from GDP real. Okay, and close. There are two close open bracket. There should be two close brackets as well, and it will automatically calculate for you. So copy, you already key in the formula, and the rest, okay, just copy and it will read, yeah, from the figures and automatically calculate for you. Now copy this and put it here, see, and check the formula. For money supply, we want it to read from MSR, that is H. So here is log, is reading from H2 is correct. So we don't have to make any adjustment here. Copy and then drag the cell downwards, and okay, enter. This one also you can simply copy and paste directly. Copy here, paste special. Okay, cancel. Okay, you can put paste. See, directly paste, because previously we already request for what, paste values only. No formula is carried. So these are the data. These data are available for you for further analysis. There is graphical analysis, and also for you to transfer to SPSS for correlation and regression analysis. We are running out of time. So which data I'm talking about? This data. Okay, data already converted into real and in log format. Yeah, so I stop up to this point because we are running out of time, and I will continue inshallah in the next video. Okay, bye.